There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow men. True nobility is being superior to your former self. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This quote by Ernest Hemingway has been stuck with me for years. Usually, we try to achieve something that is just to be better than our colleagues, friends, and superiors. In colleges and schools, we were told that this is the way it should be. However, I believe that if I can get one step better than how I was yesterday, I'm a winner. I was always afraid of stages. During my school and college days, I never set foot on a stage. I still have some a couple of uncollected awards, including a second place in book balancing at my school, only because I had to get on stage to collect them. I was forced to do a speech once. I still remember the horror I felt when I was at the podium. My hands and legs were shivering like this, like I had some kind of weird fever. How I managed to complete the speech is still a mystery to me. So a person who has a fear of public speaking and a fear of speaking English, what profession did I choose? Teaching. I started teaching part time, and somehow it changed into my profession. I was teaching my students all subjects, but in Malayalam. Whenever I get a request from a parent to teach the student in English, I would politely decline. During those times, I used to watch a lot of motivational videos in YouTube just because I have nothing better to do. So one of the guys was talking about investments. If you want a good investment that gives you a good return, you would have to invest thousands of dollars. But what if you have only $100? Where would you invest? He said the best investment for $100 is investing in yourself. His suggestion was to join Toastmasters. Even if the $100 would last you only for 1 year, it would be worth it. Hmm, Toastmasters. That's a new thing. My first thought was that it's a club for drinking. You can't blame me. The name itself is misleading. I searched the internet and called a number. It was our Bina ma'am. She told me to join for the next meeting. And that's how I wound up in a demo meeting at Gavin Villa. I'm sure most of the people here may have felt good about their first meeting. They may have felt that they have found a perfect place for them, but not me. I was so afraid seeing people speaking with such an ease and still claiming that they are beginners. I'm looking at you, Anu ma'am. All I wanted was to get out of there. But there was something that made me revisit the club. I always sat in the back row, trying to hide from people on stage calling my name. I never took a role until I was forced to do it in my third meeting. The first role I took was a timer role. I still remember because Beena ma'am had to sit beside me to tell me which cars to raise at what time. I never would have taken that role if she hadn't pushed me to take it. One by one, I took all the roles. Then came the icebreaker. I still remember it. It had the same title as this speech. Once I finished, I was congratulated by all. I was wondering, why are they congratulating me for this bad speech? Then I realized this is how Toastmaster works. They encourage you to be better, to better yourself. And now I understand what made me come back for the second meeting. It was the people here. I'm thankful to all of you for being part of my journey as a guide, a critic, and moreover as a friend. Without you all, this day wouldn't be possible. Then at our chartering ceremony, we had an education session on pathways. Pathways being a new thing and all, They wanted everyone to understand different pathways. At the end of the session, they told us that we have a new pathway now, and it was the toughest one yet. It is called engaging humor, and it would be better if we don't try that pathway. Being a reasonable guy who has the motto "jump first, think later," I decided to choose engaging humor. After a couple of projects, I realized my mistake. Since it was a new path, nobody I knew anything about these projects. I reached out to different people from different clubs. I watched YouTube videos. I spent more time researching than actually writing speeches. Once I understood the idea, I was a bit late. Engaging humor is hard because everyone expects to have humor in every speech. Being humorous is not about being funny. Humor is where you find it and what you make of it. How to incorporate it into speeches without stopping the flow of the speech was the hardest challenge I faced. Among those who helped me with my speeches, very few were patient enough to hear my weird questions about Toastmasters and its projects. So when our Vice President of Education was assigning mentors for every member, I told him I will accept only one person as my mentor. So that's how on June 13th of 2020, our division director, distinguished Toastmaster Mini Mohan, became my mentor. I never had a mentor in my life. And so I didn't know what a mentor actually is. During these couple of years, I have learned what a mentor is. At first, I thought a mentor was someone who is going to help you with your speeches and projects. But gradually, I understood that the role of a mentor is much more than that. A mentor helps a mentee to identify opportunities in Toastmasters as well as outside. I'm extremely thankful to my mentor who not only helped me in Toastmasters but a lot in my personal life. Trust me when I say this, she was really patient with me. She spent hours listening and answering to my stupid questions in the middle of the night. What can I say? She got a master procrastinator and somehow she made it work. Now a fun question. What is the first thing you do after you finish writing a speech? Give your answers in the chat. What is the first thing you do after writing a speech? Yeah, I'm not waiting for everybody to type because it's going to be long. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And the first thing I would do after writing a speech is search for all the buts and ands in the speech. My mentor promised to track me down if I hunt me down actually if I start a sentence with and or but. All joking aside, I am I would proudly say that minimum the impact you made in my life is huge. I will try to pass on the torch you have given to me to future Toastmasters and my mentees. I often get asked if this is all worth this much effort, mainly because they all know how lazy I am. I would definitely say it is worth it. From a guy who wouldn't talk English speak in English in public, I now teach in two colleges. I teach students from more than 6 countries, and I have my own mentees now in 3 different countries. When I when I was looking at the project resource, I came across these words: let your accomplishments be a starting point instead of a culmination. So I decided to do just that. Instead of thinking of this as an end, this will be a new beginning. The joy of life comes from our encounters with new experiences, and hence there is no greater joy than to have an endlessly changing horizon for each new day, have a new and different sun. Thank you, and back to Toastmasters of the day.